It's December 15th, 2023. Okay. Yesterday. Okay, I did that video this morning where I told you after yesterday, December 14th, 2023, 4:45 p.m., around that time, I go through the drive-thru of McDonald's on North Main and North Canton. Okay? I'm taking just a couple minutes to eat a sandwich. I have been working ungodly amount of hours. And before I go to my next client, I pull in. A couple with their small child comes out. Big part of this, okay? Don't know who they are. But they come out and the kid's laughing. Karen's Will's here today. Ha 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 ha. She didn't get no money out of this. The guy's like, I'm here to make sure Karen gets no money out of this. Okay? I set it up that she'd get no money. I heard Dave took off. And there I already told him there's no reason for him to take off. I already set it up. She would get no money. He set everything up. He set it up. He's part of this big fraud scheme. He set it up. And that she wouldn't get no money. And he's running his mouth outside so loud. It's ridiculous. My car's parked. People are driving by. And this guy's confessing that he is in it with Dave and part of the big setup. Okay? I go to my job. Okay? I get done. I come home. Then I go the gas station. Then I go out to Hartville for my midnight shift. I told you I've been working on godly amount of hours. And outside my client, somebody's like off in the distance, in the dark. I told that guy, I know she don't know who he is. And I heard him say he was part of this setup, and I know he is. Of everything that's going on, and she don't even know who he is. And he was part of setting this whole thing up. And she was out there screaming outside my clients. That guy's one of the main things. Now, is he Will? The one that they said took a bribe? Or is that John they made a fool out of? Or is that one of the human traffickers? Which one is it that set it up to steal my informant money? I'll tell you what. People in Hartville today were pissed. We all heard that guy being part of that setup and him stealing our money. Okay? And they're saying the police better never even ever say a word to her about anything from what they did to her before. That guy even admitted it was a setup. See, people aren't realizing what they're saying. That they bribed a federal agent. They set me up. That is for him to embezzle from the federal government. You're not. That's why Dave fled the country. That guy was even threatening to go get men to bring him back. Who are you? Who are you? I'll tell you what, the police need to find out who he is. You know, with him having it, McDonald's has cameras. There's probably a good chance he used a credit card. And they were inside. They came out laughing at me. My car's parked. So, we want to play? Want to play? I went to the Ravenna police where people were saying the police did it before. Chief of police called me from Ravenna. We had nothing to do with this. It's not, I question all my officers. They knew nothing about somebody being in your home before. And nobody thought any of that was funny. Went to the Portage County Sheriff's. Miss Hall, it was none of our officers in your home. Nor did we have any knowledge of anybody being in your home before. That would be illegal. And we weren't in your home or anybody else's home except for a protected light case. I said, with statements. Yes, you actually have to have a court order for that. You know that, right? Judge has to sign it. It's the only time you can be in somebody's home. I said, it's the Fourth Amendment. He's like, yes. I said, police and agencies can only be in a home under threat of life with statements. Yes. He said, what these people are saying they did is illegal, and it was none of our officers, nor did we have knowledge of anybody being in your home. And what they're saying they did is illegal. Why? Because Dave told our son Danny he hired Pete on his own. His girlfriend's dad in the drug cartel. They've been scamming everybody. See, that's where they said, do you realize how stupid those two agents were? Laughing at her, that they knew what they were doing to her before and who was doing it, and he didn't arrest them. And they mocked her, and she didn't know what they were talking about. Now, I want you people in Louisville, Canton, Massillon, all this, where people have already, some little kid, we'll put it this way, some little kid in Alliance and Marks, on the 12th, December 12th, 23, out by the front, sad. We all know none of this is funny. They photoshopped everything on her before. We all know that. We all know that. And the only thing they actually had on her, she just brushed some water off her clothes on, just brushed it off. Everything else was photoshopped. From the repeat confessions to the photoshopping and washing by crackheads. The drug cartel, it's a big drug scam. Okay? Some little kid was up by the register area even telling people, we all know none of this is funny. They photoshopped everything. Okay? Where on March 13, 21, the nurse at Mercy Medical, they told her the only thing they had me on was adjusting myself. The guy said, that's sick. She said, no, it's really funny. She just brushed off some water with clothes on. The guy said, that's sick. She said, no, it's actually really funny. She just wiped it off. And then they started saying stuff didn't happen. And then I guessed it was a shower scene. And they laughed at me. She figured out what they did. Mocking me. Okay? Mocking me. And then they told it, and they made fun of the feds for falling for it. I don't believe the feds fell for it. Like they said, they paid off John. See, we're December 12th, 2023, Tuesday. Okay? I'm in an Alliance in Marks by the register. There's cameras right above it. Most cameras have audio. Okay? Some guy said I was talking to those officers following her around. Okay? They said that they all know that agent left her in the middle of those drug cartels. And the way he spoke to her, and then he didn't pay her, that he had to do, they would have had to pay him off, and he had to take a bribe, or he wouldn't have talked to her like that. And if she didn't get her money from the case, then he's stolen it. See what I mean? The drug cartel paid off one sheriff over 100 grand. He's in jail. I looked it up, and more sheriffs had took payoffs from the drug cartel to let people be taken, killed, and their drugs being sold, and then look the other way. So where they said they paid off that agent, as rude as he was, he better be saying that he did it to get the drug dealers. Because he admits he talked to everybody on the phone. That before listed informant that he met with the Vegas, the church people, then made fun of me for the drug cartel Pete. Dave's girlfriend's dad, he said he hired on his own and his drug friends to frame me. The law states you have to have a court order. So where's your court order? There's not. Because Dave hired Pete on his own. It's a big drug scam. Photoshopping and washing to make me look weird. And you guys are so pathetic. Like they said, what was it, within the last 2 months on a Sunday? Out in Walmart lines, you can watch me walk around the food court. They said people realize how pathetic all this is. They realize how pathetic all this is. Nobody else said a word to her. That the people thought that they could make fast, easy money off of this. And that's why they were helping harass her. Okay? They thought they could make fast, easy money. And when they found out that that agent stole all that money for herself and nobody's going to ever get a dime, nobody thought it was funny. No, he manipulated all of you. So he could steal, and then they got nothing. All these people are so pathetic that ever repeated a lie against me, and he mocked me. Do you know how pathetic they are? And it's coming down to how pathetic they are. They thought they could make money off of drugging somebody getting drugged up and told to say something. And they told them that they were stalking me, the drug cartel, photoshopped a washing scene, and they could extort money if they helped harass me. That they could make some kind of fast, easy money off of it. And they were pathetic enough to help. While these people were selling children, selling their drugs, selling and killing women and children out of this area. And while they were raping me publicly, torturing me publicly, bashing my skull in. And since when, as a society in the United States, do we think it's funny that terrorist behavior is funny? That anybody's skull's crushed in? Since when do we find it funny that anybody's being raped or tortured? Since when, as a society, do we find it funny that anybody would tape anybody naked and sell it on porn sites, let alone Photoshop it and try to extort money out of a victim? Or break in a serial rapist, stab some poor woman in her sleep and rape her. Or when she's in the bathroom, to slip in the back door and put a roofie in her drink, Diet Coke, and she comes on and takes a drink and then gets dizzy, and then he rapes her and drugs her up and tells her to say or do something under a roofie, so he's planning to extort money. Where do we find scary movie stuff in real life actually funny? These people in Louisville, Ohio, Canton, Massillon, the ones that actually participated on it, are actually that pathetic. Little children in town called them reprobate bastards. In 19, reprobate bastards, the ones that were helping. Reprobate bastards. That's what they are reprobate bastards. Those are the people that God won't even forgive. Because they have went so far, seared their minds and their hearts, that it's funny to kill people, to rape them, to dehumanize them, sell them, extort money so they can make fast, easy money off it, so that they can become serial killers themselves and include themselves in heinous crimes that they think is funny, just to make a fast buck. And they got nothing. Now, I want you to think. Everybody go online, and I want you to report FBI Agent John Will. They stole, just think, if I am not his only victim. See, that's where I talked to a police officer out of this area. If this is happening with you, that agent is not only stealing from you, but he's stealing from other victims. And just think if he has 5. He's making $25,000 a month that he's putting in his pocket. He's setting himself up to be basically Donald Trump. He's setting himself up to be a billionaire. When he retires, he'll go own his own country or own island. I want you to think about that. The only ones getting money is that agent that's stealing. And the drug traders and human trafficking, selling people and selling their drugs. This has been a big diversion. Since when do we find heinous crimes against innocent people and drug cartels breaking in people's home and doing scary movie shit to a victim funny? And photoshopping of washing in the room is so asinine, it's ridiculous. And they've laughed at you. Even that small child out Marks, we all know they photoshopped that. It was a shower scene. We all know that. It's washing in the other room. And they photoshopped everything on her. and stalking tapes. They laugh at you. They laughed at the feds. Roofie confessions, so you're sleepwalking? And stalking tapes that aren't even admissible. Like Officer Reinhardt in Louisville, even the FBI would be in jail, go to jail for looking at them. They can say whatever they want. They can say whatever they could think they got. But until that agent took your statement and agreed to protect you, he can't even be in your home. They couldn't even be in your home. And he had to take your statement and agree to protect you, or they couldn't even be in your home. The department, they'll end up in jail. It's entrapment if police or agencies are in your home. Because you have a right to privacy. There has to be a court order. They can't just break in somebody's home. It's a right to privacy. You have a right to remain quiet. You have a right to an attorney. Like some little kid said, off in the distance, we all know Dave's never coming back again. None of this is funny. Well, where did I find it's funny? And then I want you to know, I want you to think how pathetic this is. Why did you think some man that's 60 years old cheating with an 18-year-old kid should be able to kill his wife? Have the drug, sell her to the drug cartel, being drug beat and raped, drugged and framed. Where did you think it's funny that some 60-year-old bastard did that to his wife so he could have an 18-year-old kid? Somebody is young enough to be his granddaughter. And then they didn't work out. Broke up right after my divorce in 19. Then he dated several other people. Then he married some foreigner and they come back. And when they admitted they bribed that agent and he embezzled my money, he left everything behind and fled the country and told our son he's never come back. My sons will never have a father. They will never have, and my grandkids will never have a grandfather again. They'll never see him. Unless the feds bring him back in chains for the crimes he committed. During this case, and they have him under police surveillance with shooters killing people. Working with the human traffickers, selling people. Him hiring the human traffickers to drug, beat, and rape me under police surveillance. Like people in Hartville. Even the police knew she was being drugged and told to say stuff before. We all know that. Even the police knew that. That's why the police tell you we all know this woman's innocent. These people have admitted to drug me and tell me to say it before. They admitted to photoshopping washing scenes and everything. And they made everything up on me. It's a big scam. And right in front of the cops. Carrying around the house, FBI informant. I worked at Ohio Catholic. What was it? August or September 19th? Okay. I went for my drug test. And when I first started there, I went upstairs and the managers in Macedonia were complaining. We were told that we're not allowed to say a word to her, that she's an FBI informant, and she's working an FBI case. And her drug test came back with all kinds of drugs in it. And we're not even allowed to say anything about her credit score. And they were rambling off all kinds of crazy drugs. I don't do drugs. But I was waking up with injection marks where I got cigarette clicks. I had been raped and tortured right before that. And people were still bringing it to me. Okay? And and they told the people in Macedonia that I was an FBI informant, people at the bank, and they weren't allowed to say a word. See, that's where those ladies said. The police even knew they were drugging her up and telling her to say stuff. They said it in front of people in Walmart. I can list off 3 or 4 or 5 people right off that I already knew that they were saying in front of them they were drugging me and telling me to say stuff, let alone the cops. See, that's where last Friday I went to go in Walmart. Some security guards were outside. Nobody will ever say a word to her. They've already confessed. That guy stole her money. And he took a bribe. Nobody will ever say a word. That is what is going on. They told people here in Louisville the first year, don't say a word to her. The people they hired to hurt her are selling people. They also told people not to say a word to me. It's just them stealing from the case. Where that guy said he set it up. This whole thing was nothing but a setup for the drug cartel to get away with stealing people and selling them, and for him to steal from the federal government. It's a big setup. The whole thing is a big setup. And do I ever want to hear Will said you couldn't say anything? Will said he talked to everyone, and Will don't have that kind of authority. And even the police, the prosecutor's office, and the criminal attorney, he didn't have the authority to ask you to stay quiet. And they can't look at a tape before. They tried to get some guy to look at him. He said, no, thank you. I've already heard she's framed, and I realized what kind of drugs they were using on her before to make her sleepwalk. There'd be no need to. Plus, it's illegal. Like Officer Reinhardt said, it'd be illegal to look and listen. People can't just break in your house and stalk you, let alone then Photoshop you or date rape drug you up until you say something stupid. And they made a fool out of the FBI. And they've mocked them publicly, and they've dared them publicly to fix it. And then nothing. That's why Dave fled the country. Where that guy said, I already told Dave I have it set up that she won't get no money. So he's in it with Dave. Huh? You want to say you're the FBI agent that was supposed to protect me, that you let all these people die? Where do you think somebody being a dirty cop is funny? Do you know what stopped the sheriff in Ohio from taking payoffs and letting people be killed and the drug dealers run crazy like down here? People told on him. Got online, did online reports, called. They showed up and investigated. He went to jail. There was a couple other sheriffs took payoffs too. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office, this is a backdoor deal. We have problems in Stark County with people taking payoffs to be victimized and killed. And that agent took a payoff. He told me that within the first 5 minutes of our conversation about this. It's a backdoor deal, Karen. We got a problem in Stark County. People taking payoffs to let people get victimized and killed. That's all it is. It's a payoff. And he said until somebody else picks up that case and they actually work it and fix it, that victim gets victimized or killed. So when you see me out, do you want to yell weird with yourself? It's a washing scene of showering in a room. You wash your front and you wash your butt, you wash your everything. Get the night day's sweat and residue off. Yeah, you're in the private shower washing yourself. Do you think it's funny that some sextortion group is watching women and taping them shower, being perverts and selling them on porn sites? You're in your own private shower, you're washing all over. And they take the scene of you washing yourself. Get out and dry, and they're selling you for men that you've never met to watch you. It's funny. That's a vile, sick crime and very long. Do you think it's funny that they're taking that scene of you washing and putting it in the other room? Do you think that's funny? And then they're supposed to Photoshop everything. Like my friend Jim, his son edits movies for a living. He told him, he asked him if he could do that. He said, yeah, it's simple. It's just clicking and pasting. He has an app in his phone. He said he could even click and paste clothes on you. So it looks like you're washing with clothes on, just like I just did. You just look like you're washing yourself with clothes on. Just so you look crazy. You just go through the pictures, actually click where one of the outfits, and then put that on you so you still have the action of washing, but you have clothes on. He could take your head, circle it, click it, and then put it on somebody else's body and have them do it. He could take words out of a sentence and like as if I'd be a car thief, and I am a car thief, and then fill it back in and then tape over it. And it looks like you're saying something you didn't. My friend Keith has a friend on Facebook. They said they were doing stuff like that 5 years ago and setting off hate crimes. That's where I've talked to Sheriff David, Mike DeWine's cousin. He wanted to know if our local police are slow. They already knew that. Sheriff Joe, too. What on earth is wrong with your local police? What they're pulling you with you is nothing but shit. They should arrest all of them. They can't do any of that. Now, when you guys say something, like that little kid said, we all know it's a shower scene. And it was a little thing. It's a shower scene. We all know that. Of me washing and some pervert taping me washing and putting it in their other room in a sextortion scam. Do you think that a drug cartel is trying to scam money out of me is funny? Or breaking in and stabbing me with a date rape drug, telling me to say something stupid, or roofing a drink when I'm out of the room, and I've never seen anybody? Never had them in my home. Think about that. Before the FBI, I never seen anybody. I never talked to anybody. And that Pete, I've still never talked to him. Michelle's dad, never talked to him. I never had these people in my home. I never invited them in. How would you like a human trafficking gang to run a scam on you and break in and human traffic you under drugs, beat and rape you, sell videos of it, and the only thing you know is you're waking up with bruises, throwing up, heart racing, and a severe personal infection? You think you have cancer. You can't figure out what happened to you. You're going to the doctor. I don't know what's wrong with me. And I don't know what happened. And I don't know where these marks came from. Did you fall? No. And I'm so sick to my stomach, I can't hardly sit up. And then I got all these marks. My muscles hurt. No, I got my personal infection. And you don't know what happened to you. And I got all the signs of being drugged, being raped. Better get sick on a 2-liter Diet Coke. And here when you go in the bathroom, they're sneaking in the room and dropping something in your drink or whatever, how they did it. That or you wake up with injection marks. You think that's funny? People raping women under drugs? Or taping little kids going potty and selling them on kidney porn sites? That's the people that are making fun of me. The vile, evil, criminal people that are trying to extort money out of people by photoshopping scenes and then breaking in and drug them, beat and rape them, and drug them up and tell them to say something stupid with roofies. And that's where the other police want to know what's wrong with our police. They already know you're sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours. I talked to a criminal attorney, know all about those roofies you are. Talk to the prosecutor's office, they know about it too. And they know about those amnesia drugs. And I've talked to other police out of the area, they already know. It's a big sextortion scheme. It's a big scam they're running. So when you see me out, like they said, Karen's victim of an occult that drugged her and tried to kill her before. I'm also a human trafficking victim that was tortured and left there by the FBI. And the guy stole my money. And then you gotta be really nice to me, because I'll tell you what, I almost died to save my family. And I have faced the worst terrorist in the world. And y'all ought to be ashamed of being mean to a rape victim. And how pathetic are you when you have to hurt a victim?